everyone. I have no idea how this is going to pan out, but I thought I'd try and do a kind of craft with me. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do yet. I've got a pile of odds and ends, things that I've printed out where my printer's gone wrong, or bits and pieces that I've got left over when I've done that. That is typical of my HP inkjet printer. It will print something with a great big blob in the middle of something that shouldn't be there. It drives me mad, but I've learned to use my misprints. So I've got bits and pieces that are left over, bits of printables where I've used odds and ends. A lot of these are freebies on the Facebook page. Not all of them, and to be honest, I'm not even sure where half of them have come from. I know they're mine, but I don't know which kits they're from. But just odds and ends that I've got lying around, a few words, a few images. That's Kruger Park, one of my favourites. And I thought, what I'll do some collaging. So what I'm going to collage onto is some tea stain paper. Now this is quite thick paper. It's 100 and I want to say 160 GSM. But it takes tea dye lovely, and it's a really nice weight for collaging onto and then using to cut up to use for tags or journal cards. I think the sort of trendy term is masterboard, but I just called it a collage sheet. So I'm just going to get cracking by tearing up some bits and pieces, and I have no method, I have no real plan. I have Pritt stick, which is what I use when I'm collaging. Pritt stick, glue stick in other countries. I don't have a glue book, I just do it all on here. So let's just get going. And I tend to go over the edges because I can always trim those off later. And sometimes I ink up before I collage. I ink up the papers. Other times I don't. I'll stick them all on and then I'll do some inking afterwards. And I think that's what I'm going to do this time, because I do like the effect that inking gives. But it's a bit fiddly when you're doing it for every little bit of paper. So, you know, just tearing up bits. I had the giveaway earlier today for my 500 subscribers, which Jenny Parsons won. And I haven't heard from Jenny yet, but I'm hoping she'll pick up soon and let me know what kits it is that she wants me to send her. I know 50 was a lot, but I wanted to kind of make it special. And I don't know about you, but there's something about quantity. You know, it's special having all that stuff there to be able to use. Like I said on the earlier video, I'm sure she'll never buy another thing off of me because she won't need to. But yeah, I just love the idea that someone gets to play around and have so much fun. As I said before, I'm having so many problems with my printer. And to be fair, I can't entirely blame it on HP, because my Canon's not working properly either at the moment. It's something to do with Wi-Fi. But I honestly can't pin down exactly what it is. Just whenever I'm trying to print off my iPad, and I only use an iPad, I don't use a PC at all. I mean, I use a PC for work, I use a laptop. But for my design work, I only use an iPad. Which is quite unusual, I think, for digital designers. Most designers that I know use Photoshop. But I only use Procreate on the iPad. And I absolutely love it. I love it. It is so intuitive and so versatile, and I love the idea that everything is done with a stylus, a pen. It's like painting rather than creating something on a computer. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So yeah, I only use my iPad. I don't really use anything else. So the issue that I've got with printing at the moment, I don't know if it's my iPad. I don't know if it's something to do with the Wi-Fi network. I don't think that it's actually something to do with the printers. I think it's something else. But I've got a kit that I'm waiting to start. I'm waiting to actually get it online into the shop, but I never do that until I've actually done a test print and looked at it myself and decided whether whether I'm happy with it. Do I need to change something? And at the moment, I just can't print anything off, so I can't do it. Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh, anyway, God, I am rambling, aren't I? I don't even know if I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here, but hopefully something will come out of it. It's bank holiday here in the UK this weekend, so what we call the May bank holiday. And we're actually more or less, well, yeah, we are a long way out of lockdown now. So there are things we can do this weekend if we're so inclined. We can sit outside in a pub garden and have a drink. There are some I don't know, parks and gardens open that people can go to. I don't think you can eat inside yet. I don't think we're at the point of being able to go to a restaurant. But 21st of June, I think, is the point at which we all get properly unlocked. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to it or not, to be honest. We've been conditioned to being locked up. And part of me thinks, I don't know if I really want to go anywhere or want to do anything. I'm going to make the effort to get back to normal, otherwise goodness knows what will happen. Right, just put this on here. It's very brown, isn't it? I think I might try and find something with a bit more colour. Lord knows, if I've got nothing else, I've got printed papers. Let's put a bit of that on. So yeah, what's it like everywhere else? I mean, I know I get lots of people watching my videos from countries other than the UK, but what's going on in your countries in terms of lockdown? Are you unlocked? Are you still locked up? Are you having vaccinations? I'm not up on what's going on. I've lost a certain amount of interest in the news. Yeah, I wouldn't like to say it's depressing, but it's not very uplifting. So I tend to look for other things. I do spend a lot of time on YouTube. There are some amazing creators on there. And I just love how it's so much more entertaining than the TV, for which we have to pay an exorbitant licence fee in this country, whatever you want to watch. It's a strange setup here. We have our public broadcasters, the main one of which is the BBC. We have to pay a licence fee to watch the BBC, which is fair enough. But we also have to pay a licence fee to watch Sky. We have to pay the BBC a licence fee if we want to watch Sky. We have to pay the BBC a licence fee if we want to watch something on Amazon Prime. If you're streaming TV into your house, you have to pay the BBC a licence fee. And I just think it's shocking. And quite honestly, there's not much on the BBC now that is of any interest to me. I quite like Call the Midwife. What else? What else is there? So difficult to think. I don't watch any of the soaps anymore. I think they're absolutely rubbish. I did used to love EastEnders, but I've not watched that for years. Because I am an East Ender. Originally, I was born in the East End of London in the days of Call the Midwife. So, not quite unpopular, but a stone's throw away from there. So my mum is very familiar with Call the Midwife in real life terms. And my family, they were all from the East End. We moved out when I was a teenager. We moved out to where everybody from the East End went to move out from, basically. We moved out to Essex and a little place called Rainham, which is not far from Dagenham. And most people in the world have heard of Dagenham just because of Ford Motors. There was a huge Ford motor plant in Dagenham. And it was like everybody that lived there worked at the car plant. We like to think of ourselves as a bit posher. We were in a little village called Rainham, which is a bit further out. But basically, it was like a satellite of London. We just thought we lived miles away. And we moved there when I was in my early teens. So, kind of I've never forgotten my London background. It's very much part of who I am. And I'm really proud to be a Londoner. Really proud. Although it's not quite what it was. I still have a lot of affection for the East End. And how the people were in the East End. They were lovely. Everybody knew everyone. Everyone helped one another out. Does that go that way? Or to go that way. Might be upside down. Yeah, everyone helped everyone out. Everybody knew one another. It was very much like they portray it on Call the Midwife, actually. So if you're elsewhere other than in the UK, yeah, Call the Midwife. It's a bit twee, but there's a lot of truth in it. A lot of truth in it, especially how it portrays the East End at that time. Well, I'm getting there. I'm not sure I'm loving it, but I'll keep going. This is, I think, what you call mindless creativity, because I'm really not paying any attention to what I'm doing at all. Sometimes that's nice. Crafting is a bit of a escape. Well, it's definitely an escapism for me. It always has been. When I've been stressed or wanting to distract myself, just not think about things. You know what it's like. Sometimes your thoughts just kind of take over. And I've always found, oops, I'm looking for another bit of paper, but I seem to have got another grungy bit. I've always thought that I could lose myself in crafting. And I love it. I love that ability. Oops. I'm getting through a lot of that glue stick. I don't always use glue stick for collage. Sometimes I push the boat out and use Fabri-Tac or Beacon 3-in-1, which I've just managed to order 2 pots of. I'm so pleased because it's not been around on Amazon for a while. And I went on today and found that it is on there at a reasonable price, because sometimes it appears and it's some humongous, ridiculous price, which I don't succumb to. But yeah, it wasn't bad price today, so I have ordered some. Next day delivery. Oops. Can't be bad. Right, I've got this last bit to do. And then I'll maybe get the inks out and start trying to make it look something else. So, well, I hope you're all having a nice weekend. I don't know if anybody else gets a long weekend other than us in this country. But I am absolutely... Oops, I didn't want to cover that word. I am absolutely desperate for a break. And I can't wait. However, back to work on Tuesday. I dare say I'll pay for the day off because there'll be that much more to do. But yeah, I think we might try and go out tomorrow and do something. Just try and say that we've done something. Right, pop that on there. These really don't look much when you're at this stage, but they do pick up. I don't know how, but by the time you've got them, everything's stuck on and got a bit of ink in and put a little bit more embellishment on, and then you start cutting them up into tags and journaling cards, they transform. It's weird, really. Just realised it's starting to get a bit darker here. And that's usually when I call it a day. I don't like working in artificial light. I think that's probably more to do with me than the light. I just don't see as well, and colours don't perform as well as I would like them to, or I certainly can't see them as well. So yeah, when I can't work in natural light, I tend to give it a miss, which is a bit of a pain in the winter. Then I really do make the effort, and I've got a daylight bulb as well in my lamp, but it still doesn't give me true colours. Right, last bit on there, and then I go and get the ink and see if I can make it look slightly more attractive than it does at the moment. Because quite frankly, ain't nobody going to be getting excited about that. Right, be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back with my Distress ink, which I've only got walnut stain at the moment. Well, I've got some pinky greeny colours, but for my browns, my vintage photo's nearly done. So I'm down to walnut stain, which is a bit dark, but I think it'll be okay. And my right, this is what my tools comprise of. If anyone says you need all the fiddly bits and pieces from Tim Holtz and various other places, no, you don't. This is a makeup brush that broke about a year ago. I've used it ever since. It does the job as much as I need it to. I love it. So, yeah, Tim Holtz, get that. Right, I'm just going to pop something. I'm just going to tidy around the edges first. Might as well do that. Oh, do this on my trimmer, but my trimmer's the other side of the room. So, oops, you can't see anything. God, I'm rubbish at this. Right. I promise I'll try and get better, because I really want to share some bits and pieces, things that I've found. I do want to share it with you, and God, I'm just not Steven Spielberg. So videos tend to be a bit naffy. Right, I'll get rid of all that rubbish. So I've trimmed it off around the edge. That's kind of it. And now I'm going to attack it with the Distress ink. So you can't see what I'm doing there. I'm only daubing it. Look, dab. Put a bit on there. There is, well, as far as I'm concerned, there is no technique to this other than what feels comfortable. So I just go round in circles, and what you find is it picks up, you know, the little white edges where you've torn off. Let me show you. So can you see where I've torn that off, and you've got the white edge there? When that's on your collage and you've stuck it down and you get your incredible non-Tim Holtz tool and start inking round, those edges pick up the ink, and it makes, well, I think it makes a difference anyway. It just gives it that bit of interest. Let's go up to the top. And you always get those little sticky up bits. Just plop a bit of blue on. Okay. And just start inking round and round. And you can see how that sort of disappears into the collage. And the papers blend together. I think it's so clever. It's so simple, but it's so clever. And it creates, Oh, there's a word for this. I don't think this is the right one. Homogenise? No, that's milk, isn't it? Homogenise something. It just creates a unity of the papers. So you have all these oddments, and then you start inking away. Oh, and you can't see what I'm doing. Oh, God, I'm not going to keep saying that. All right, there we go. Just inky, inky, inky. Another one. I really wasn't paying attention when I was sticking them down, but... And ink around there. And this has made quite a nice weight. It's probably not, I don't know, it might be equivalent to card. It's quite stiff. But it's certainly firm enough to make journal cards with, or tags. And you've got the lovely tea stain background on the back. So that's where I'm going to think. I think I'm going to leave it for now. What with the light disappearing and me mumbling on. Yeah, so what I'll do next is I'll turn this into something and show you what I've turned it into. But it's been nice chatting with you tonight. Or chatting, I've been rambling. But I hope to speak to you all again soon. Bye.